Welcome back to our third episode of the Churchill Music History podcast. We started off by looking at music, sound, and time. And this week we're going to delve a little bit deeper into that, looking more specifically at rhythm and pitch, and even more specifically at rhythm, covering topics like beat, accent, meter, rhythm and meter, and syncopation. So with no further ado, let's jump in. We start by discussing rhythm, the way musical time is organized by the use of duration of various magnitudes. We then go on to the organization of pitch into scales and intervals. Rhythm. As we've seen, the term rhythm in its broadest sense refers to the time aspect of music. In a more specific sense, a rhythm refers to the actual arrangement of durations, long and short notes, in a particular melody or some other musical passage. Of course, the term is also used in other contexts about golfers, quarterbacks, poems, and even paintings. But no sport and no other art handles rhythm with such precision and refinement as does music. The term rhythmic is often used to describe music that features simple patterns, such as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeating over and over again. But that is not really correct. Think of what a golfer or tennis player means by rhythm. Such patterns should be described as metrical or strongly metrical, not rhythmic. Beat. The basic unit for measuring time in music is the beat. While in listening to a marching band, to take a clear example, we surely sense a regular recurrence of short durational units. These units serve as a steady, vigorous background for more complicated durational patterns that we discern at the same time. We can't help beating time to the music, waving a hand or tapping a foot, following the motion of the drum major's baton and of the big drum player's drumming sticks. The simple durational pattern that is being signaled by waving, tapping, or thumping is the music's beat. Accent. Beats provide the basic unit of measurement for time. If ordinary clock time is measured in seconds, musical time is measured in beats. There is, however, an important difference between a clock ticking and a drum beating time. Mechanically produced ticks all sound exactly the same, but it is virtually impossible to beat time without making some beats more emphatic than others. This is called giving certain beats an accent. And accents are really what enable us to beat time, since the simplest way to do this is to alternate accented or strong and unaccented or weak beats in patterns such as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. To beat time, then, is not only to measure the time, but also to organize it, at least into these 2 and 3 beat patterns. That is why a drum is a musical instrument and a clock is not. Accents are not always indicated in musical notation, since in many types of music they are simply taken for granted. When composers want a particularly strong accent, something out of the ordinary, they put a little greater than sign above or below a note. Thus, a pattern of alternating very strong and weak beats is indicated as shown. An even stronger accent is indicated by the mark SFZ or SF, short for sforzando, the Italian word for forcing. Meter. Any recurring pattern of strong and weak beats, such as we have already referred to and illustrated, is called meter. Meter is a strong weak pattern repeated again and again. Each occurrence of the repeated pattern, consisting of a principal strong beat and one or more weak beats, is called a measure or bar. In musical notation, measures are indicated by vertical lines called bar lines. In Western music, there are two basic types of meter, called simple meter, which includes duple and triple meter, and the second being compound meter, which involves a subdivision of one of the simple meters. In duple meter, the beats are grouped in 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Duple meter is instantly familiar from marches, such as Yankee Doodle, which tend always to use it in deference to the human anatomy. Left, right, left, right. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. In triple meter, the beats are grouped in 3s. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. As it happens, the American national songs America and the Star-Spangled Banner are both in triple meter. America starts on a strong 1 beat of the triple meter, and the Star-Spangled Banner starts on a weak 3 beat. So for America, you have "My country 'tis of thee," or "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light." Not infrequently, there is a clearly marked subdivision of the main beats into 3, resulting in compound meter with 6 or 9 beats. So that's where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Compound meters can be treated as subtypes of duple and triple meter. In the round "Row, row, row your boat," while the first voice is moving at a fast 6-beat clip at the words "merrily, merrily, merrily," the second voice comes in pounding out the basic duple meter. Row, row, row. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gently down the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meters with 5 beats, 7 beats, and so on have never been used widely in Western music, though they are found frequently enough in some other cultures. It was an unusual tour de force for Tchaikovsky to have provided his popular Sixth Symphony with a very convincing waltz-like movement in quintuple meter, or 5 beats in a bar. Rhythm and meter. We've already seen that, in the most general sense, rhythm refers to the entire time aspect of music, and, more specifically, that a rhythm refers to the particular arrangement of long and short notes in a musical passage. In most Western music, duple or triple meter serves as the regular background against which we perceive music's actual rhythms. As the rhythm now coincides with the meter, then cuts across it independently, then even contradicts it, all kinds of variety, tension, and excitement can result. Meter is background, rhythm is foreground. Musical notation has developed a conventional system of signs to indicate relative durations. Combining various signs is the way of indicating rhythm. Following are examples of well-known tunes in duple and triple meter. You will notice how the rhythm sometimes corresponds with the meter and sometimes departs from it. The shading indicates passages of rhythm-meter correspondence. Here we can see the rhythm above the musical line and the meter below the musical line. In this case, our first beat is our strong beat. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. So glory, hallelujah, truth, and on are all accented. The next example, the Star Spangled Banner, is in triple meter, once again with that first note accented. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming? The diagram should not be taken to imply that meter is always emphasized behind music's rhythm. Often the meter is not explicitly beaten out at all. It does not need to be, for the listener can almost always sense it under the surface. People will even imagine they hear a duple or triple meter behind the steady dripping of a faucet or the ticking of a clock. Naturally, meter is strongly stressed in music designed to stimulate regular body movements, such as marches, dances, and much popular music. At the other extreme, there is non-metrical music. The meandering, non-metrical rhythms of Gregorian chant contribute to the cool, unworldly, and spiritual quality that devotees of this music cherish. Sometimes these two different kinds of rhythmic organization are joined together. In Indian classical music, for example, most performances begin with a long section of non-metrical music and then proceed to music with a clearly defined, if complex, meter. And with that, we've come to the end of another week's podcast. Join us again next week, where we will finish talking about rhythm, more namely about syncopation and tempo. That's being on and off the beat and how fast you're going. And begin to take a look at pitch and very, very simple intervals. There will be one more episode in this set, so please make sure to come back next week and the week after to continue our adventure through musical history and music appreciation.